The New Orleans Pelicans and the Big 870 WWL proudly presents Pelicans Weekly. It's a weekly radio magazine focused on the Pelicans, the fans, and the NBA. We'll get the latest from Pelicans players, coaches, and front office staff. Plus, we'll check in with our experts around the league. Tonight's show is brought to you by Smoothie King. Rule the day. Chevron, the human energy company. By Energy, we power life. And by New Age Products, official garage and outdoor kitchen provider of the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans Weekly on the Big 870 starts now. Here's your host, Gus Kattengell.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Gus Kattengell, and welcome to Pelicans Weekly, where we will recap the week that was, look at the week that will be, and everything in between. Coming up next segment, the voice of the Pelicans, Todd Graffagnini, sits down with Pelicans forward Trey Murphy. But first, let's recap. So the Pels went 1-2 since we were last with you. The team facing the Phoenix Suns, Oklahoma City Thunder, and San Antonio Spurs. We start our recap on Thursday when the Pels made just enough plays against the Suns to snap that 9-game losing streak.
You got a 1-point lead, 1:55 to go. McCollum pops one. Left corner, Herb for three. Yes.
Herbert Keyshawn Jones, folks.
Left corner and down. McCollum drives on Allen. Crosses over through the legs, all the way in. Off the glass.
Oh, Mr.
Top
President.
of the box and in.
Mr. President Christian James to the rescue.
1-on-5. Booker. He'll get to the rack. Hook pass out to Allen. Pop a deep left wing three. That's short. Back tapped out. That volleyball. Herb's got it. And Ingram in the backcourt. Ingram's got it with 18. Up the floor, McCollum. Get it to Trey. Dunked it down with two hands.
Okay, where does that start? Herb Jones. Herb gets his hands on the ball. He gets it to B.I. B.I. kicks it ahead. They don't hold on to the ball, and you get the easy lob and bucket.
A chaotic possession ends up with the Smoothie King Center in pandemonium. You've got 14.8 seconds left in this game, and the Pelicans lead the Suns 125-121. And John, you said it. Herbert, Keyshawn, Jones, welcome back. Booker between the legs. Herb's on him, and it's deflected, and the game is over.
Herb. Put him in a straitjacket and finished it off.
Booker never got a shot off. Herbert Keyshawn Jones does it again defensively, and the Pelicans have snapped the 9-game losing streak. It is kerflooey.
Now you tell me this team didn't miss that man.
126-124 was the final, and of course, Herb Jones making that kind of impact in his first game back, as in the block to win the game.
I mean, we just talked about it, in the timeout, that we needed to get a stop, and just tried my best to get one. We got it. Head
coach on the much-needed win.
Well, the credit goes to the character in our locker room and our staff. They're incredible, and we understand that nobody woke up and decided that they wanted this to happen to our team. So there's nobody to blame. We're in it. We have to embrace being here. And there's always positives that come out of adversity in our group. We stick together. We continue to come in the gym with energy and joy. And we just attack each day. And this is truly, truly a blessing to coach this group.
DeJounte Murray after the game on just how nice it was to finally start getting back some healthy bodies and to get them all on the floor at the same time.
I mean, it was great. I think from an organization standpoint, you pay guys to play. I don't think nobody want to be hurt. No teams want to be hurt. So, obviously health is, wealth. It's great just to have, the full strength, because you can never judge a team, without their guys. Like, we're still missing Z. You know what I'm saying? You got Hawk figuring it out, but it's great to have a team, the guys that you're building and, you want to see, play together. No knock to none of the guys that's been here competing, when guys was hurt.
All right, so the team had off on Friday before a back-to-back over the weekend, one home and one on the road. Saturday night, SKC, was a game in a night that, well, we'd like to forget. Pels lost 119-109 in a game they were down by as many as 30 points. But they also lost another starter to injury.
You guys got a couple 20-rebound games.
It's 16 in their last game.
Ingram around Messi. Back to Eve. Drives, lays it up and in, and we're on the board. Strong to the hoop, Eve Messi.
If you can lean into Messi's size underneath, I think that is a good game.
JRE, Kenrich Williams on the switch. McCollum, right side to Green. Extra pass, Brandon Boston. Lost it with one. Bailout three at the buzzer from the right corner as the shot clock expired.
A big shot, BB.
31-19. Now SGA, shot clock, 15, game clock, 125. Trey Murphy picks SGA's pocket, drives, lays it in. A little of their own medicine there.
Hey, Trey stuck with it and was able to take it to the rack.
So you cut it to 10 again. Now he is in a seated position right now. DeJounte is trying to help him up. Now Ingram on the jump shot. Oh, man. Tom Maestad over, and Ingram can't put any weight on his left foot. So just to kind of refresh here, Ingram cannot put any weight on his left foot.
They just sent the two biggest players on the team, Trey Jemison and Eve Messi, on the court to carry Brandon Ingram off.
Got it down to 22, to 21. There's a steal by DJ. Murray, watch out from behind. He still has it. Going to the trailing Messi, cutting down the lane, and a two-hand flush. DeJounte Murray started all of it on the defensive end. And Aaron Summers, we have cut a 30-point lead down to 19. Flip it to Boston. Need some threes to fall. We're down 22. Jones back to BJ. Spins left. That's an impossible shot, and he knocked it down. 15 feet, falling away left of the lane. Nothing but net. Oh, and then he poked it away from J-Dub. McCollum up the floor. BJ Boston reverse dunk. Timeout, Mark Dagno.
But that was as close as the Pels would get that night. DeJounte Murray, just a soundbite ago, was talking about how nice it was to have all those bodies back. Well, here's him talking about losing Brandon Ingram.
I mean, it's tough. Because I know him, personally, how much he loved the game, how hard he worked. Just his smile every day brings joy, lightens up any room he goes in. So, like I continue to tell him, like he told me, we're going to be all right. We in it together. Keep your head, and whatever you got to do, handle your business. So, it's tough, but I know he's a fighter. He's a hard worker, and most importantly, a great person. So, he'll do what he got to do.
All right, now back to the game. A 42-point second quarter was just a single reason for that loss. Murray had this to say as far as the team's effort.
I mean, it's on us as the players. As an individual, you got to be ready to play. And, it's a team sport, obviously. But, like I said, I'm always say as an individual, you take your accountability. And, start with myself and everybody else. We just wasn't ready to play. There's no trick answer to it. It is what it is. You guys seen the game, the fans seen the game, and, we just got to be better. And it comes down to us as individuals want to be better and allowing us to bring it together as a team.
Head coach Willie Green.
Understanding the responsibility when we take the floor. As a group, collectively, we got to take the floor, and we can't wait for teams or to score on us, for us to get down, to decide that we want to play for 48 minutes. And there's ownership in that, and we got to do a better job to start games.
All right, so on to Sunday, where it was the back end of a back-to-back, and in San Antonio, the game, a back-and-forth battle.
Jessup up top, Boston, shot clock at 5. Got to go. Boston, stop, pop, top of the key. Good. Nothing but net. And Wembanyama was on him. Brandon Boston's got no fear. I can promise you that. Murray back to Messi, and he will throw it. I mean, throw it down with two hands. Wemby in tow. Now back the other way, Barnes for 3, right corner. Yep. Well, unfortunately, folks, Harrison Barnes is lighting us up. Paul down low, deflected and stolen. Herb. Chris Paul took it back. And then a no-look behind the back flip from the deck by Stephon Castle to Wembanyama, and he dunks it in. That is unbelievable. Castle had no idea. Well, he did. He just blindly flipped it. 6:45 to go. Got to make shots. Murray, chest it to Trey. Deep left wing three. On cue. Raining from the rafters. Castle can't get it, and he threw it right to Messi. Can Messi go coast to coast? He Euros. He slams with two hands and one. The answer is yes. So Castle with a terrible pass. Up top, Eve shovels back to Murray. Wemby on the switch. 15-footer. Right free throw line extended, nothing but net. And we are tied at 114. Castle crosses over Trey. Euros in. No foul. Murray's got it. Murray front court. Chested to McCollum. Extra pass, Murphy back to CJ. Drives in. Finger roll righty. Yes, good. Timeout San Antonio. So Paul's got it. Front court. You got to get another stop. Paul, hook it up top. Wemby, straightaway three. Killer. Absolute killer. That is their first turn. That's their first field goal since the 5-minute mark. It came at the worst possible time. 117, 116, 30 seconds to go. Murray, right wing, left-hand dribble drive, dotted line, fall away, floater, in and out, no. Tipped up and in, no. Messi, point blank, rebound Wemby. 20 seconds left. Kick it to Trey, fakes the jumper, back to Murray. Back to Trey, deep left wing three for the tie, no. Tipped up, Wembanyama's got it far corner. Will foul him with 4.5 seconds left. And one free throw will ice this baby. You had arguably your best shooter wide open, taking a left wing three, and he didn't make it.
121-116, the final. Head coach Willie Green on the loss.
Yeah, definitely tough. We did a lot. There was a lot of good in this game, and just tough to not be able to finish it out. I know our guys wanted it, but they got nothing to hang their heads about. Definitely you saw the carryover from the last couple quarters of the Oklahoma game into this game, a back-to-back. Big-time contribution from all of our guys that touched the floor tonight. They competed, played hard, played together. It's just tough and sometimes frustrating when we come up short.
Guard DeJounte Murray.
It's tough against, great teams. When you dig yourself in a hole, you keep fighting, and I think we showed that. I think we controlled the first quarter, but after that, they kind of controlled the game. They got Chris Paul over there. And not only Chris Paul, like I said, I was just talking about Mitch Johnson. He's seen it all, been through it all. They was able to, slow down and, get what they want, get stops. I think, that was a big thing for them tonight, transition. And we just couldn't, get back on track. I think we fought, though. We put ourselves, in a situation to win the game, and, we'll live with, Trey taking that shot, and that's that.
So as we go into this week's games, the Pelicans are 5-20 in last place in the Western Conference. When we come back, Todd Graffagnini has this week's player interview. Pelicans forward Trey Murphy will join him. You'll hear that next when we continue with Pelicans Weekly on WWL.
Welcome back to Pelicans Weekly. Here's the voice of the New Orleans Pelicans, Todd Graffagnini, with this week's interview.
Welcome back to Pelicans Weekly. Todd Graffagnini with you, joined now by Pelicans wing Trey Murphy. Trey, good to see you back on the court now, healthy. How was the process, and how do you feel right now?
I feel good. I feel like I'm finally getting my legs up under me and, figuring out what I need to do conditioning-wise. It's been a process, obviously. We want to get wins on the board, but I definitely think we're making progress as a team. Been getting steps in the right direction.
Yeah, hamstrings are a difficult thing, and obviously during training camp, I know it was frustrating for you because it's the second straight year you weren't able to start the season. But what is that process like? Because obviously you can't start running right away. How does that rehab work?
It's a weird one, especially because I went through such a lot more strenuous one the year before that. It's weird just being like, all right, well, you have to just rest now. instead of actually trying to build, something back up. So definitely different, but it wasn't a challenge that I wasn't, able to conceive from.
In the offseason, you signed a rookie extension. What did that mean to you and your family that you knew you were going to be a part of this organization, and even more importantly, being a core of this organization?
First speaking for my family, the biggest thing is that, my mom and dad won't have to work anymore. They've been working my entire life and working really hard to try to get me through and get me to the place I am now. And so just being able to finally be like, you know what, you guys can rest and, just enjoy the fruits of your labor, really, that's been the biggest thing for me. And then also, obviously, it's a big deal when a team invests into you financially. So, definitely thankful for that, for, Griff and Miss Benson as well.
I see your parents all the time, at home games especially. What does it mean for you to have them there like that every game?
It means a lot. They're my inner circle. It's me, my mom, my dad. And, we're really close-knit family. And so just having them there with me every step of the way has been really cool. And I think the biggest thing is just showing them experiences. I know it's a little off-topic, but, I took them to All-Star my second year, and they got to meet, so many guys that they looked up to, like, Dr. J, Charles Barkley, like just a bunch of different athletes that they watched growing up. And so, it was good putting them in front of that and, letting them have that experience. Like, outside of all the All-Star festivities, that was the best thing, was just showing my parents, that life.
You can set your own topics on this show, Trey. It's, that's what we do here. Look,
I don't think so, but and just still your show at the end of the day. It's not a Trey Murphy show. It's Todd Graffagnini show.
Trey, you went to Herb's jersey ceremony too. What was that like? It was just so awesome to see all you guys there.
No, it was great. Herb is that type of guy where you want to show for him and be there for all the things that he does, because he's not going to talk about his accomplishments, but other people will, and that's exactly what they did there. And so just happy for them.
It has been tough for you guys with the record, but it's just so much fun for me who gets to come in and watch you guys every day to see the vibe. And I think the highest compliment I can pay you guys is that you can't tell what the record is. You guys come in, work hard every single day, and you don't let what's going on the outside affect you.
Yeah, it's NBA. It turns, and that's the biggest thing. Like, we gotta understand that it turns eventually, and the best thing you can do is just get better each day. And if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're gonna eventually just get to where you need to go to. And we're trying to figure that out, and we're gonna get there at some point. We got the talent to do it, so we're definitely gonna get there.
All right, my favorite stat in basketball is 50, 40, 90. You were able to do that when you were at Virginia. Having called college basketball for 12 years, that still blows my mind. Are you capable of doing that in the NBA? I'm not going to sleep until you get to that mark at some point, because I know you are capable of it. Is that something, maybe a personal goal of yours?
I wouldn't say personal goal. I think the biggest thing is just making sure I take good shots, do the things that I work on, and continue to, just shoot the ball with confidence. When I was at Virginia, I wasn't trying to get 50, 40, 90. I was just getting buckets. That's all it really was for me. And, I definitely think it's a possible, attainable thing to do, but it's not something that's on my mind. The biggest thing is just getting wins. That's the biggest thing.
I love that. But what is the toughest part of the three to get there? Free throws?
Some could say free throws. I can't lie. It just depends on your game, in all honesty. Like, twos, getting 50% on twos is tough. My second year, I was 48, 40, 90, and, the toughest part was the twos. I can't get a dunk every single time, and, they got big people down there, so, it is what it is. But I'll eventually get there, though.
Finally, Trey, I know it stinks not being able to have an opportunity to go back to Vegas like you did last year, but now the next couple of weeks, you're going to have some days off before games, and is that good as well?
I will be okay without Vegas. I went one time during the summer, and I was there for 9 days. I do not need to go back right now. So, obviously want to win everything, but we are okay with, having some time right now to, get repaired, get rested, and, fight for this other part of the season.
Trey, you're the man. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
That is Trey Murphy here on Pelicans Weekly. We'll send it back to Gus Kattengell in the studio to wrap it up after these messages on the Pelicans Radio Network.
Pels fans, be sure to catch the New Orleans Pelicans podcast, dropped every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now back to Pelicans Weekly and our host, Gus Kattengell.
Our thanks to Todd Graffagnini and Trey Murphy for a little bit of their time. So the Pelicans will only have 2 games to play before we meet up again here in Pelicans Weekly next week. The team will host the Sacramento Kings on Thursday night at 7. Then on Sunday, the team will face the Pacers at 4 p.m. For Todd Graffagnini, I'm Gus Kattengell. We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode, and we'll see you next week for another edition of Pelicans Weekly right here on WWL.
Pelicans Weekly was brought to you by Smoothie King. Rule the day. Ochsner Health System, the official healthcare provider of the New Orleans Pelicans. Keesler Federal Credit Union, official credit union of the New Orleans Pelicans. SeatGeek, get your seat in a seat. And Morris Bart. If you know, you know. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on Pelicans Weekly, right here on WWL. Let's go, Pels.